Hello students, welcome back to fourth session on Introduction to Statistics. In last three sessions, we discussed in detail what is statistics, definition on statistics, 5 important phases of statistics. Then we discussed in detail what is collection of data and what is classification of data, various aspects that we should aware of with regard to collection as well as classification of data. It's a last session, particularly with regard to introduction to statistics. Listen carefully. This session talks about remaining aspects which we have not discussed in third session. We know that when we collect data from respondents, for example, I want to know the performance of section B. Respondents means section B students. I'll collect the data, means I'll collect marks scored by all section B students. If I arrange that collected data systematically, that is known as statistical series in statistics. So, systematic arrangement of data collected is known as statistical series. So, how I arrange data collected about you mean section B student with regard to their marks, I will collect it and I will systematically arrange it. Such systematical arrangement of data is known as statistical series. I can do or I can arrange it either on individual unit basis or on frequency series basis. Try to understand. I can arrange the data I collected with regard to marks scored by section B either on individual unit basis, means from each individual students, or on frequency series basis I can arrange. So individual unit basis of data arrangement can be presented in two forms: raw data, data collected in original form; individual series. When the raw data is presented individually in the form of series, it is called individual series. In the sense, how I collect data from you. If I present the data as it is, that is nothing but raw data. So I can arrange data like how I collected data. That is nothing but raw data. Or I can arrange collected data from you individually, means from student number 1 to student number 86 or 79, whatever be the number of students in your section. So I will arrange data individually as per their name or as per their serial number or as per their register number. So that is nothing but individual series. So if I arrange data in an individual series, definitely you will come to know what is the mark scored by serial number 1 student or register number 1 student or student named Arpita. So means either on the basis of name or on the basis of serial number or on the basis of roll number, I will arrange data individually. That is known as individual series. So if I present data or if I arrange data like how I collected, means it is raw data. I have not systematically arranged it. I just arranged like how I collected. That is nothing but raw data. Did you get my point? So if you present data like how you collected it from the respondent, that is raw data. If you arrange data individually, so then that is called as individual series. In simple words, individual series is arrangement of raw data individually. Means what I collected from each student, I will arrange it individually, either as per serial number or as per roll number or as per name. So that is nothing but individual series. Did you get my point? So it gives numeric values for a specific situation. In an individual series, items are shown singly. In the sense, items are shown as per individual basis. For example, following are the marks scored by students in a class of 100. See, 56, 77, 88, 49, 60, 92, 70, 81, 69, 51. So this can be done in two ways. Either in alphabetical arrangement or in array. Means either I can arrange the marks scored by the students out of 100 in alphabetical way or in the form of array. Alphabetical way means as per their name, A to Z. I'll arrange the data. That is nothing but alphabetical arrangement. As per array means as per ascending order of marks scored by students or as per descending order of marks scored by student. So this is nothing but individual unit arrangement. Try to understand. Data collected can be arranged either on the basis of individual unit or on the basis of frequency series. Individual unit of arranging data can be done in two ways, raw data, individual series. Again, individual series can be done in two ways, either in alphabetical order or in array. Alphabetical order means as per alphabetical order of their name. So, or array means either in ascending order or in descending order. This is how I can present the data. Next one, on the basis of frequency distribution. Frequency distribution refers to a table in which observed value of variable are classified according to their numerical magnitude. So means whatever data I collected with regard to marks, so that is observed value of variable. They are classified according to their numerical magnitude. Means, for example, how many students scored 56 marks? How many students scored 77 marks? How many students scored 88 marks? So on that basis, I will arrange the data. That is nothing but on the basis of frequency distribution. So again, it can be done in two ways. One is on discrete series basis or on continuous series basis. What is discrete series basis? A variable is said to be discrete if a variable takes some particular value. The important thing in discrete series is that the variable involved in series has integer values. Data are presented in a manner that exact measurement of items are clearly shown. So in the sense, listen carefully, in case if you are arranging data on the basis of frequency distribution, so you can arrange either in discrete series basis or in continuous series basis. You will go for arranging data in discrete series basis if variable takes some particular value. For example, if I know that there are 2 students who scored 56, there are 8 students who scored 77. So means 56 takes a specific value, 76 takes a specific value, then I will arrange data in discrete series manner. You just look at the table, wages and number of workers. So there are 7 workers who takes 2,500 as wages. There are 9 workers who takes 3,000 as wages, maybe per month or per week, we don't know. So this way of arranging data, just look at this, 2,500 means wages taken by workers. 7 means there are how many workers? 7 workers who takes 2,500 as wages. There are 9 workers who takes 3,000 as wages. There are 3 workers who takes 5,000 as wages. This is nothing but arranging data in discrete series. So continuous series means a variable is said to be continuous if it can take any value in a given range. In the sense, a particular variable is said to be continuous if it takes any value in a given range. For example, there are 10 students who scored marks in between 10 to 20. Means those 10 students might have scored 10 or 20 or any value between 10 to 20. So that is known as what series it is? Continuous series. If I know specifically that there are 2 students who scored 57, that is discrete series. If I know that there are 50 students who scored marks in between 10 to 20, that is nothing but continuous series. So a variable is said to be continuous if it can take any value in a given range. While arranging data in continuous series, one should aware of certain concepts such as class interval, class width, class limit, midpoints, frequency. All these aspects we have already discussed particularly in third session. So while arranging data in continuous series form, one can go for either exclusive series or inclusive series. This we have not studied in third session. Try to understand. You can arrange data either in discrete series basis or on continuous series basis. When variable takes specific value, you will go for discrete series. When variable takes range of value, you will go for continuous series. When you arrange data in continuous series, you should aware of certain concepts known as class interval, class width, class limits, midpoints, frequency, which we have already discussed in third session. While when you arrange data in continuous series form, you can arrange in 2 ways, either in exclusive continuous series form or in inclusive continuous series form. Exclusive class interval, also known as inclusive class interval. Arranged continuous series data is said to be exclusive if items of upper limit class are excluded in each class interval but get included in next class interval. So you just look at this. There are 3 students who scored marks in between 0 to 10. There are 4 students who scored marks 10 to 20. This is known as continuous series. This series is known as what is that? Exclusive class interval series. Why? Because one who scored 10 is not there in this class interval. He is there in next class interval. At the same time, one who scored 20 marks is not there in this class interval. He is there in next class interval. Means who scored 10 is eliminated, excluded here, included in next class. Who scored 20 is excluded here, included in next class. So that is nothing but exclusive class interval. You just see, while arranging continuous data, either you can go for exclusive class interval or inclusive class interval. Continuous data is said to be exclusive if items of upper class limit is excluded in each class interval get included in next class interval. In the sense, one who scored 10 as per this example is excluded in this class interval but included in next. This is the upper class limit. So again, one who scored 20 is excluded in this, included in this interval. Again, one who scored 30 is excluded in this, included in next. This is nothing but exclusive class interval. So what is inclusive class interval? So an arranging data on continuous basis is said to be inclusive if items of both lower limit and upper limit are included in the same class interval. Means one who scored 0 and 0 to 9 and even 9 is included in this class interval. Means we have not excluded marks scored by students 0 to 9 in this class interval. All who scored marks from 0 to 9, including 9, including 0, in between 0 to 9 all are included in this class interval. This is nothing but inclusive class interval. You just look at the difference. In exclusive class interval, upper limit of a previous class will become lower limit of next class. But in case of inclusive class interval, upper limit of previous class is not lower limit of next class. So this is what the difference between exclusive class interval and inclusive class interval. Did you get my point? You should be very careful because we are going to solve problem next class onwards after me explaining all aspects relating to basic statistics. So far we discussed in detail what is statistics. Try to understand what are the 5 phases of statistics. We discussed in detail particularly collection of data and classification of data and arrangement of data. So when we arrange data, that is known as, try to understand, when we arrange data systematically, so that is known as what? Statistical series. You can arrange data either on individual unit basis or on what basis? The frequency series basis. Under individual unit basis, you can arrange data either in raw form or on individual basis. Under frequency distribution, you can arrange data either on discrete series basis or on continuous series basis. When variable takes specific value, you will arrange data on discrete series basis. When variable takes values relating to a range, so that at that time you will go for continuous series. Again, under continuous series, you can arrange data either as exclusive class interval or as inclusive class interval. Under exclusive class interval, value of upper class limit is excluded in a particular class, included in next class interval. But under inclusive class interval, values of both lower limit, upper limit and all values in between lower and upper limit are included in the same class interval. So this is all about basic concept that we should aware of before we are moving towards first chapter on quantitative technique 1. So we will see in detail about the first chapter, particularly next session. Before that, go through all these 4 sessions many times till you understand each and every concept. I am not going to explain this concept as and when it appears, particularly in first chapter to last chapter. Understand all these concepts, then we will move towards first chapter, particularly next session onwards. Thank you. Take care.